to the Cicero Regular Town Board meeting Wednesday, October 9th, 2024 at 6:30 PM. If you would please note there are two emergency exits in the rear of the room and one to my right. Would please silence your cell phones and stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. No, we're all done. You can sit. Thank you.
No moment of silence?
We just want to express our concerns and with the folks in Florida and let us pray tonight for them. Thank you. Number 5 has been postponed and adjourned and re-advertised to October 23rd at 6:30 PM.
We need to vote. I think we need to vote on that, don't we?
Is there a vote that has to happen, Robert? On
We have
that?
to vote on that, don't we? To reschedule the public hearing on the subject.
Adjourn it. We adjourned it to October 23rd at 6:30 PM. All in
Okay.
favor?
That's fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
We should vote no or abstain.
And what was the reason for that again? How many times has that been this year? Twice?
We'll go to abstracts first if you want to go, Counselor Hogan.
Are we recognizing?
Nope, we'll do that. We'll do the abstracts first, then we'll recognize her.
So we're going out of order on
Correct.
the agenda?
Correct.
Okay. Move for the adoption of a resolution to approve abstract number 40 dated 10/2/2024 and abstract number 41 dated 10/9/2024.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain. Passed. We'll go back to number 3 and we'll recognize Mallory Coyle. Is she here tonight? Hello, Mallory. Mallory Coyle with recognition certificates for her and Abelie Palmer for receiving the Girl Scout Silver Award. This award is the highest honor the Girl Scout cadet can earn, spending a minimum of 50 hours on a sustainable project that will impact their community for years. The project Mallory and Abelie worked on was called the Bedazzled Birdhouses. They observed birds local to Central New York and researched the top 10 birds. They worked with Ducks Unlimited EFC chapter to build birdhouses and worked with the town of Cicero Parks and Rec Department to create a birdhouse trail at Gateway Park in Bridgeport, New York. The girls then hosted a grand opening of officially share the bird trail with the community. It is their hope that the Bedazzled Birdhouse Trail will encourage people to spend their time outdoors and off screens. You can learn more about the project at Birds, is that what it is? .org? Birds.org? Okay, great.
Wait a minute. Is it birds.org? Okay, because on our agenda, it says
Bird.
birds. So, okay, just wanted, okay. So it's all plural. All 3 of them are plural.
Well,
Thank you.
Well, congratulations. And we're going to give you a certificate of recognition. Does anybody want to go down and get a picture?
Sure.
Come on down.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mallory Coyle, and just recently I finished my Girl Scout Silver Award called the Bedazzled Birdhouses, We worked with an organization called Ducks Unlimited to build 10 birdhouses and hang them in Gateway Park in Bridgeport, sorry. And we use an app called Merlin and listen to the birds around our community. And we researched those 10 birds and we made a website about them with all the information you need to know about them. And we made a permanent metal sign that we left in Gateway Park. So you can view our website, it's birdsbirdsbirds.com. And with the town's help, we hung the birdhouses up high up in the trees so the birds could stay safe. And we painted them. And yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. They're camouflage colors, so they blend into the trees, but we just wanted to have a fun name for our project. No. We have like an army green, like a dull brown. No, I'm sorry. Yep. Yeah. Thank you.
We still have to do number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2, does anybody like to come up? I apologize. I skipped number 2. Anybody like to come up and speak on behalf of any of the agenda items prior to the, you'll have 3 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. Speaking about number 8, seems a little concerning, mostly because it's a change. And I think that with the Board of Ethics internal rules and everything already written, and being there, everybody's going to notice when you're doing a change like this. The concerning part is that I think what you're saying in A is that this is going to be submitted under a sort of seal. Yes, in a sealed envelope. But does that mean that the complaint or any complaint is somehow sealed as part of a legal process?
Jay, if you don't mind me just stepping in really fast, these aren't our changes. These are changes that came from the chair of the ethics board, just for clarity.
Who should be here tonight, right?
I'll tell you flat out, I'm not prepared to vote on this evening. So, okay.
And the reason why I mentioned that the chair should be here tonight is it's actually under their internal rules, item 9. Item 9, lower digits III, so 3, the BOE chair will ensure the proposed changes appear on a town board meeting agenda. The BOE chair will appear before the town board to present the changes.
Tracy, did you happen to talk to the chair?
Yes,
Did she say why she wasn't going to be here?
she just asked if I could bring it before the board,
Okay,
and I prepared the documentation. And I did put it on for attachments that they were making this change that they had already voted on per one of their Board of Ethics meetings. They made the change, and now it's just a housekeeping formality that the board votes on what they had made the changes on. No other further discussion was made.
Yeah, that's not going to work. I mean, it's in the internal rules and regulations right now that the BOE chair will appear before the town board to present the changes.
I
okay,
mean,
here's what we'll do. After, we'll decide on that, but thank you, Jay. Anything else?
The reason why I'm concerned about when you say that you're going to put a complaint or something under seal is because if you read the rules under New York state law for obstruction of government administration in the second degree, section 195.05, okay? It does sort of kind of qualify. If somebody were to be sent this information and release it to the public. And we have had instances in Onondaga County, I'll wrap this up now. There were instances with Peter Roach down in Syracuse who had ethics complaints against him. They were not made public. He ended up killing somebody. There was the instance with Isaac Eames. He had ethics complaints against him. They were not made public. He ended up killing quite a few people. All right. I think that considering these circumstances, transparency is really important. And the threat of some sort of legal pushback if people distribute public information stifles speech. And I don't think you should do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Next.
Good evening. Just a couple of things on the abstract. Is there a way that we can have the different codes, account numbers attached to the department of which they're being applied? Could there be something like a,
Is there a way we can do that?
I can look into it. I mean, the numbers are based on the OSC guidance. They all correspond to departments. There's a listing of that out there somewhere. I'll see if we can do something about including it on the.
at least to connect it to the department of the code that it's being
Yeah.
charged to? Because if you're not familiar with it, you wouldn't be able to figure it out. Also, on, I don't know which page it is. Page 4, in the Coughlin and Gerhart lines, there's 2 lines of discipline. What does that mean?
What does it say?
It says discipline. Coughlin and Gerhart.
Was likely a legal matter related to discipline of an employee.
Okay, because there's 2,800 and 2,200. Okay, and the correction of the account code for the ARPA funds. What is the code? What is that code number associated with?
So the 050 code is associated with the ARPA money that we received. That code, we had to change something that was money that was gonna be reimbursed through a grant
Right,
for the project out in Brewerton that was mistakenly put under the ARPA code when it should have been put under a general fund code. You know,
so that money came out of the general fund and not the ARPA fund?
Correct.
Okay. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, number 6.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Oh, did you want to? I'm sorry. I didn't see you. I apologize.
So folks, my name's Teresa Constantine. I own a hair salon in North Syracuse, town of Cicero. 44 years ago, I opened. We had a great shop for 44 years. It's been great. 3 years ago, my neighbors who owned a place that repaired computers, they retired. They are renting their place out. 3 years ago, a massage parlor moved in. I'm sorry, a spa. There were two women there. One, I thought one was younger. I found out she's 47. It was one of those spas next to my hair salon where I treat old ladies and children and a whole variety of people. My mother used to live upstairs over my salon in the apartment. She just moved out to Malta House. An elderly woman lived upstairs. I had these disgusting men coming in all day and into the evening, early hours. I had creeps parking behind my shop trying to hide their car so nobody would know they were next door having some fun. I called the troopers and talked to a trooper at length 2 summers ago. He kind of laughed at me at first and he kind of treated me like I didn't know what I was talking about. He called me back 3 days later and he said, I drove by the place and you're right. Well, a wonderful Cicero police officer, I think there's, oh, did it? Oh, okay. So a wonderful police officer named Officer Wallace, and he should be commended. He's great. He finally set his brains to it. He shut the place down, signs her off. She's been issued 2 tickets for prostitution and working without a valid license. So I'm not sure. She's probably going to appear in court. I'm surprised she's still there and she hasn't taken off. So with this that you want to do, this new local law, it's not her fault. She barely speaks English. You got to get to the people that are signing those leases, the people that know English, like the Johns or whoever's in charge of taking care of these places. Here's a little proposal. I can't be here on the 23rd. I thought this was going to be tonight. I think that the landlords have to be held accountable. So if you put that in your rules, they have to be totally held accountable of who's going into their property, who's leasing from them. I also think, I don't know, is there a codes officer here? Right there? I think that probably, I don't know if it's codes that would take care of it, but I think that their so-called massage license has to be thoroughly investigated. I think you should call the state and make sure. This young lady had a thing called an acupuncture certificate given out from Virginia. She didn't even have a valid New York State anything.
Ma'am, have you read the local law, the proposed local law?
No, I haven't. I just found
Okay.
out this was going on, so
All
I
right.
don't really,
If
I'm
if
just-
I may, because I wrote it.
okay.
I agree with you.
Mhm.
We need to, targeting landlords can become a little bit dicey,
Mhm.
but that having been said, the purpose of this is to get to the point where we don't need to target the landlords.
Okay.
This is the first step in what's going to be a two-step process. The second one's a lot more legally complicated and will encompass more than just massage parlors. But you are right. I mean, a lot of the women, generally women that work in these places, are being trafficked. We are aware of
Absolutely.
that, and which
Absolutely.
is why the law targets the owners and operators. Now, if they're practicing massage, which is a very broad definition under New York State law, without a license, that is a felony under the education law, and that is something prosecuted by the state. But we are targeting the people that are owning and operating these. And one of the many things they have to provide is a copy of the massage license for every person performing massage in the location. And they also have to have those licenses on display. So the enforcement of this is not going to be as problematic. Once you have a place already in operation, because of the constitutional concerns, you need an investigation, you need, sufficient cause to get a search warrant. That takes a lot of time. And so the purpose of this is to try to prevent them from opening up to begin with. Now, we do get, Mr. Probia gets inquiries about these types of things. And if we tell people you have to have a special use permit and you have to provide this information, and you're not going to get the permit, hopefully that deters them. The next step also is a legal mechanism to shut them down very quickly. If they do operate without a permit, that is step 2, but that is broader and has certainly possible, has some constitutional concerns we have to work out. But this alone, and the law does provide for immediate revocation of these, subject to a hearing of the special use permit under certain circumstances. There's provisions for suspension of the special use permit. So, I mean, we're targeting the people that need to be targeted and make it easier for us to keep these places out of town because, when I first started writing the law, I wrote a bunch of findings and I said there had been 3 raids in the last 3 years. And then I had to update it to say 4 because on September 19th, there was a 4th. So,
That was next door to me.
yep, and it's all over this county and doing research. It's all over Monroe County. It is all over Erie County. It happened in Utica. It happens downstate. Unfortunately, there's some human trafficking that goes up and down the thruway. And unfortunately, I'm just going to throw this in here. We have a human trafficking intervention court in Onondaga County, as many counties do, but due to bail reform laws, there's never any opportunity to put these women, once they're arrested, into a position where they can get services because they are issued an appearance ticket, released, and then shoved into a van and trucked down
And
the
never come
thruway.
back, right?
And so it's a tragedy that we're unable to offer help or services to these people who are probably very often doing this completely against their will.
Exactly, yeah. Well, I love that you're doing this, and I assumed this was going to be on the agenda today. I just wanted to give my
We had hoped,
piece.
yeah.
And I love what you're doing, so.
Thank you.
You
thanks.
can write a letter and send someone on your behalf to read it for you on the
Or
23rd.
just email it to the town clerk and we'll make
Yep.
it part of the record too.
That
You can
too.
do that too, if
Okay,
you'd
we
like.
can't make tonight part.
No, it will be part of the record, but
Oh,
if you
yes.
want to offer more comments for the actual public hearing itself, you can do that too if
I
you'd
just
like.
wanted to say my piece, and I
Okay.
love what you're doing. and
Appreciate
as
it.
Someone next door to it, it was ugly for a long time,
Thank you.
so I'm
Thank
glad
you
we're
so
better.
much.
Thank you.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Anyone else? No? Number 6?
Before we move on to
Fine.
the rest of the meeting, I have a statement I'd like to make.
Say what?
I'd have a statement that I'd like to
Oh,
make
sure, go ahead.
before we move on. So this is not on the agenda. I would like to take a moment to address the recent sexual harassment and misconduct allegations against Supervisor Aragano. I want everyone to know that these allegations are being taken very seriously by the counselors on the board. My personal opinion on this matter is that there should be 0 tolerance for any and all workplace harassment. With the evidence that I currently have, I believe these allegations to be true. I feel as though it is one of our duties as town councilors to ensure the physical and emotional safety of town employees. It is my understanding that Supervisor Aragano has been conducting business as usual these last 2 weeks and going into the office daily. At the very least, Supervisor Aragano should be working virtually from home to ensure the integrity of the investigation as well as the emotional safety of all employees. Supervisor Aragano, are you willing to abide by this?
Absolutely not.
So let it be known that on Wednesday, October 9th at 6:50, Counselor Hogan is requesting Supervisor Aragano to work virtually from home for the duration of the investigation due to allegations made against him. Supervisor Aragano is choosing to refuse.
Number 6,
Yeah, I just would like to say that for myself, speaking for myself, I take these allegations very seriously. There is no place in any workplace for harassment. Everybody has the right to feel safe and secure at work and free from harassment.
The allegations of harassment and other misconduct, The allegations of harassment and other misconduct by Supervisor Aragano towards a former female town employee are very troubling, and I and my fellow town councilors are taking this issue very seriously. At the last town board meeting, I voted to begin an investigation of Supervisor Aragano's misconduct, well, alleged misconduct, and this investigation is currently ongoing. The allegations against Supervisor Aragano are extremely troubling, and I'm sure there are residents who cannot help thinking how they would feel if their daughters or wives were being treated this same way at their workplace. With that being said, I would like to immediately ask to go into executive session for advice of our attorney. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Oh, discussion? Being none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Abstentions? Executive session.
This wasn't on the agenda. Should the public have any right to speak? Because it wasn't on the initial agenda. If anyone from the public is going to speak on it.
There's always public input at the end of the meeting. Resolutions. The first one is move for the adoption of a resolution to expand the investigation authorized by the town board on September 25th, 2024, to include additional allegations relating to a town official.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Second item, move for the adoption of a resolution to issue a subpoena to Steel Sales, Inc., 8085 New York, Route 12, Sherburne, New York, for any and all information, documents, and other materials, including but not limited to invoices and payment information related to any and all orders delivered to the Town of Cicero Highway Garage located at 6658 New York, Route 31, Cicero, regardless of the name under which the order was placed, and to be returnable in 30 days.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye. All right. Move the adoption of resolution to set a public hearing for October 23rd, 2024 at 6:30 PM to consider a speed limit change to 40 miles per hour on Pardee Road. The proposed speed limit change has been recommended by the Chief of Police and Highway Superintendent.
Second.
Discussion.
Do you have anything to say on this, Mr. Wozniacki?
All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed. Someone else want to read Mike's?
Oh, yeah, sure. Didn't notice the MM. Move the adoption resolution to approve the renter of a tub grinder from Clifton Recycling to tub grind this year's brush accumulation in an amount not to exceed $42,000. Budget code 080-8160-400-0000.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Move the adoption resolution to approve 3M Company in the amount of $9,800 for the purchase of various traffic sign film on Onondaga County contract number 8608, budget code 003-3310-4000-0000.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Move the adoption resolution to purchase a 14-foot tow behind trailer from CMY Farm Supply in the amount of $9,900 to be purchased from ARPA funds.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Move the adoption resolution to approve J.K. Tobin Construction Company Incorporated in the amount of $57,493.49 for an installation of an oversized drainage structure.
Second.
So, this
Yeah.
discussion, we have to figure out where this money's gonna come from. This is emergency expenditure on the roadside, correct, Chris? And the next one as well, correct? Oh, you gotta put the next one up, okay,
Okay, so I'm taking that off the agenda then. I'm not reading that next one. Okay.
okay.
Well, do we need to know where it's coming from before we approve?
Probably,
expending the
yeah.
Well,
money?
we had some discussion about this, so, we either take it out of the fund balance for the,
Do you have a contingency fund? Do you have a contingency fund for that, or is that expended? I mean, I want to make sure that we're doing it procedurally correct. I
Right.
mean,
We
don't-
need,
we don't-
we need
we
to
don't-
amend this because this, I mean, before the before the majority of the members of this board run this board, the state comptroller said in all of our agenda items, we need to say specifically where the money's coming from. So if we could amend that to make sure we know where it is.
Yeah, if we just get the budget
Yeah.
code. I mean, I don't think we need it now, but the final record should be amended the minute or whatever, so that it reflects the budget
can we
code.
do that at our, can we determine that we're gonna take it out, where we're gonna take it out of tonight? And then have a budget code for next meeting, or should we just wait till the next meeting, Robert?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, because it provides notice of where it's coming from. Okay. I'm fine with that,
Amended
I
to
don't care.
say fund balance.
All right.
Do we need to vote on the
yeah, the
amending?
structure, the oversized drainage will be, taken out of fund balance, the proceeds, correct?
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Wish to vote no or abstain, passed. We're taking E off, we're taking number 8 off. We're gonna wait for the chairman to come to the next meeting. Don't disagree. We're gonna make we'll have her come. And number 9,
Move for the adoption of a resolution to hire Neo Rose Edelston, a long name, McLeod as a part-time administrative assistant teen center monitor at the canteen at a pay rate of $18 per hour with a start date on or about October 10th and contingent upon Neo passing background check and physical. Budget code 002-7310-0100-7310.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Or abstain, passed. Does anybody have any discussion items?
I do budget workshops.
Yep, what do you got?
I know I threw out a couple dates. Don't know if everybody can make those dates, so I figured the majority of us are here this evening, so we could talk through. So I suggested,
I can't do the
believe-
18th.
I suggested the 18th and 25th, just for the record. So if we can't do the 18th,
Friday, I can do that.
yeah. How many do we think we need, first of all? By the way, Ashley, can you make the 25th?
I think so.
All right, it's a Friday.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do that like at 6? 6?
I would suggest we just start with I don't know if we're gonna need more than one. We can start with the one and then we can schedule another one if we,
Like the 1st? It'd be November 1st. If it was a Friday.
I mean, if we really need one, we could try to jam one in the next week, as long as what is the notice
So
requirement? for a
we're
budget
good the
for-
28th, right, Tracy? Because it's a Monday.
And that's not a ZBA meeting because it's the last Friday, last Monday of the month.
28th, 21st, and the 14th. I think the first week, first.
Wilson says we can't have them on weekends if we had to, not that any of us want to.
I don't
We
mind.
used to do them on weekends.
We did. We did. So the 25th, we'll say,
And then we'll go from there. That's my suggestion.
yeah, we'll do the 25th at 6. I'll bring pizza.
You're gonna do one?
No
You're
meat,
not
that's
gonna
right.
post, you don't want to post another one, just in case you,
Budget workshops.
Oh, it's gotta be at 5. You're right. It's gotta be at 5. Yeah. 5.
Sure.
So it's 5 PM?
How far out do they have to be noticed? It's just a budget workshop.
Well, that's best effort. That's still
Well, I'm
fine.
just saying, if we need to schedule another one, we don't, it's not like it's like it's scheduling a public hearing, so we can,
Let's just put the 28th on there as well.
Sure,
You're,
sure,
and then the
fine.
28th at 6.
sure. We're not doing the 18th. Let's do the 25th and 28th. We'll just schedule that. We can cancel the one on the 28th if we need to.
so you got the 25th and maybe the 28th possibly?
We're putting down the 28th. If we need it, we have it. So it was a good suggestion.
Okay. It's Friday, the 25th is 5 PM?
5 PM. And then we're all gonna go over to the trunk or treat and pass out candy.
There you go. What time's that start?
6.
You got it.
Thank you, by the way, for.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'm still waiting on one other company to give me a quote on the fence for the dog park.
Anything else over here?
Nope.
Anything else over here?
No, I'd just like to, I mean, I wasn't comfortable voting on tonight anyway, but I'd like to thank Mr. Reardon for his comments about trying to amend internal rules while not even following the internal rules. I thought that was a good observation.
November 16th, Saturday, November 16th, the Cicero Fire Department and myself are sponsoring a spaghetti dinner for the canteen, which would be a fantastic night. Anything else from Teresa?
In terms of prizes, is there some kind of contest or anything?
I honestly don't remember what I agreed to.
I would have,
That's what I agreed
probably
to.
should have written it
Yep.
down.
We have it. It's on record. I just don't remember it.
Anything else over here?
No, I'm good.
No?
Yep.
Anybody from the public want to come up and speak?
There we go. Jamie Pardee, 5980 Sneller Road, Brewerton, New York. I'd like to kind of have a comment on what was dropped on everybody here tonight, including the board. I am not saying I support or do not support it, but I do support that comfort in the workspace is right. I've witnessed several things on this board over the time, a lack of professionalism, particularly last week, private discussion in the parking lot 4 board members walked in 4 minutes or 2 minutes late to the meeting because they're having a private discussion and dropped some more things onto the board, which Aragano actually did support you guys on, that he wasn't unaware of the discussion. But there's been some turmoil. I look at it, we have a dysfunctional board, and as a public, member of the town, it's not comfortable feeling to see what's been going on over the last couple of years on the board. I'm not here saying I support Mike or anyone on this board at all. I'm just saying what I witness. It's disheartening as a member of this town of Cicero to see what's going on with our board. We're a small town. We, thrive saying we're a small town, but we're bringing big time politic stuff into this town. We see what's going on with our government today. We don't need to turn our town into what's going on in the United States and the big time government. So you guys need to get together, work as a team, leave your emotions out of it, and represent our town the way we should. That's all.
So moved. Aye.
Aye.